Maibuye. Viva EFF, viva. Kula EFF, Eastern Cape, kula. Kula EFF, Alfred Zo, kula. Kula EFF, Matatiele, kula. Kula EFF, Ntabankulu, kula. Kula EFF, Winnie Mandela, kula. Kula EFF in Alfred Nzo, kula. Kula EFF Numzumvumbu, kula. Amanda. Viva the Commander-in-Chief, viva. Long live the Commander-in-Chief, long live. 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 Amanda. Away, two. Thank you very much, Deputy Secretary General Popimai Lula, for introducing the leadership of the EFF and everyone else who is here. We take this opportunity to acknowledge the leadership from the Central Command Team, the PCT, the RCTs and branch command teams, but most importantly, the women of South Africa that have gathered today here to commemorate and mark Women's Day. My task is quite simple and straightforward. My responsibility is to introduce a leader of the revolution. My role is to introduce the Commander-in-Chief and President of the EFF. My task is to raise a leader whom we can count in the same line as Thomas Sankara, as Patrice Lumumba, as Kwame Nkrumah, a great Pan-Africanist. Comrade President.
Amandla. Amandla. Viva EFF, viva. Viva EFF, viva. Phansi ngamasela phansi. Phansi ngamasela phansi. Phansi ngolisela Oscar Mabuyane phansi. Amandla. Siyabonga, thank you very much. Deputy President, SG, DSG, TG, members of the Central Command Team, members of the PCT, led by the Chair and the Secretary, Sibonge, our RCT, and all our ground forces, including our councillors. Today we are here in Matatiele in the Eastern Cape to salute our mothers, because if it was not you, mothers, grandmothers, sisters and daughters of this beautiful land, democracy was going to be still a dream. But because you volunteered your bodies and said you can shoot us and kill us, we want our freedom, and our freedom cannot be postponed. It is going to happen today. So we are here because you refused to carry dompas. You said this is the land of our forefathers and mothers. And therefore we don't need to prove to anyone through carrying dompas that we are South Africans. You did so knowing very well that the answer to that was death. But even when you knew you were going to die, in your mind you had two things. Either we are going to die or our children are going to be free. We don't want our children to be like us. We want them to walk freely because we will fight for that freedom. So we are here as grandchildren of Winnie Mandela, who comes from Mbizana, from a rural area, to go and liberate the whole of South Africa. Charlotte Mateke, Lillian Ngoyi, and many other women who said, we cannot allow this to continue enough is enough. So anyone who thinks that this freedom came because someone was doing us a favor will have to think twice. Because a lot of women all over African continent fought against colonialism. We think here of Queen Nzinga, who fought against Portuguese colonialism, who said we cannot allow to be colonized by people who came from nowhere and want to conquer our world. For decades, Queen Nzinga fought against the colonizers because they knew that the defeat of colonialism will be a defeat of an oppression of women. Today, as we celebrate this day, we should remember the widows of Marikana who were brutally killed by police who were told by Ramaphosa that these workers are criminals. He killed a lot of men who come from here in the Eastern Cape. Today, a lot of families do not have fathers. Why were they killed? Ne ba kopa fela tšhelete ya hore ba kgone ho support-a malapa a bona. Ramaphosa ha ba kopa tšhelete ke ditsotsi ha ba bolaiwe. Batho ba ko Kolombeni ba re le bona ba ema ka maoto bomme ba Kolombeni mo Eastern Cape, but we are not going to allow nonsense to happen on our land without us. Baba betha ka di rubber bullet, they never retreated because generally women of Eastern Cape are not cowards. That's why today that issue of Kolombeni is still an issue because women defended the land of their ancestors. Comrade, all of us know that there are a lot of single mothers here in Matatiele. Bontate ba file bomme, bana ba fetša ba ba šia, and basadi bo bao azanka ba yo dampa bana ba le ba re bontata lona ba le tšhabetše, therefore I'm going to dump you. Single-handedly ba udisitše bana mo Matatiele mo. Today bana bao ke banna le basadi. Every time when single mothers complain about resources to raise their children, baba bitša ka maina ba re they are bitter women, yet they are not there to support their children. There is no woman who can ever be a trouble in your life, even if you give her a child, for as long as o support ngwana. Ma fa motho wa mme wa mo fa ngwana wa fetša wa tšhaba, ha ro batla tšhelete ya ngwana wa re no baby mama o bitha o ntšhetše morao o bona ke motloetše. Ha bue ka ntho gore o mo siile, o bua gore support-a ngwana wa hao, because as single mothers we cannot afford. Re leboe batho ba tsolo mo Eastern Cape ba re producereditše Deputy Chief Justice ya mosadi Mandisa Maya, mamotla a rural woman ke Deputy Chief Justice, ine swantše ebile Chief Justice ke ena na winne go ba Chief Justice. Ba tsamaya ba yonka monna ba mmea mo setulong se ne swantše o kene Mandisa Maya wa o tšwa ko Tsolo, ba nagana gore ngwana wa ko Tsolo ha deserve go ba Chief Justice. Ka gore batho ba ba tshepa fela banna, batho ba funi ndoda e tšebileng e be Chief Justice. O tšebile o nje mara o useless, the Chief Justice with no brain, the whole brain that is full of fat on top of that brain. That's why he can't think properly. So, Rere Homandi Samaya, we need more of chief justices who are African and females from rural areas. Maramandi Samaya, haba mo appointile mola. It's not about her. It's about a girl child in Matatiele. Horha Musheba, Armeo mu successful owner, even Deputy Chief Justice ya South Africa, Atwako Tsolo, Hora Nakako Matatiele, it's possible. Lena tomorrow, I can be Chief Justice, I can be a judge, I can be a leader in society. Comrades, basadi ba rona ba mo Africa borwa ba phela in a difficult situation. Ha ba tsebe hore na ba tjhabele kae ka re la ba ya ko kerekeng ho a reipiwa ko kerekeng. Ha ba re ba ya ko traditional counseling moshate wa reipiwa lona mo. Ha o re o tjhabela ko ntlong ka lapeng o safe o reipiwa hona ka mo ntlong ka mo o reipa ke batho bao o ba tsebang. Bongata ba bomme ba rona ba reipa ke batho ba ileng hore ba tsebala. Bana ba banyana ba reipa ke bo malome, ba reipa ke di neighbor, batho ba nanang hore bona ba safe ha ba ba bona. Kanti ke sera motho o emetse fela opportunity ya hore ha e ka ba ya fitla ke swantse ke reipe ngwana nao. So rena re le batho ba EFF re na le boikarabelo ba hore re tshireletse batho ba bomme, re make sure hore bana le bomme ha ba reipiwi ebile they are not victims of gender-based violence. Because taba ya abuse asitaba ye le ring ke taba ya family, asitaba ye ring it's a private matter. There is nothing private in gender-based violence. There is nothing private in rape. Ha o le moagisane o tseba hore motho wa reipiwa ka mo next door or ngwana wa shapiwa or motho wa mme o ska bua le bona, ema fela o reporta tabeu ko branching ya EFF. EFF e tla tseba hore batla hore e etseng e police station your reporter. We must expose all the abusers because mo Matatiele mo dintho a di sebetse. Ha o re kena police station o rwakana ke le ponisa la monna o re o reporta hore wa abusiwa. Maponesa mo ba rwakana hore khutlela ko hae ntho ke taba ya ko hae tsamang lo e bua ko lapeng a re batle mona police station mona. Re kopa hore o ska lwana le lepodisa o iketse o ka re wa utlwa o re ne ke kopa fela leina la re ntate ke mang o mongwa le tlase o mo tsebe ka motlhong o ye o mo reporte ko EFF o re ke rekile police station ko reporter abuse motho a ba re ko nna ke taba ya private ke khutlele lapeng. EFF will know what to do with that type of a police officer. Mo Matatiele mo basadi aba batliwi ha o tliwa tabeng ya politiki, basadi aba batliwi ha o tliwa tabeng ya economy, ha o ntshiwa di-tender mesebetsi fuwa banna ba etse di-tender. Ha o le motho wa mme ba re na what do you know about tenders? Ha o itse next o ka se etse next ke mosebetsi wa bontate. Ha o re o ya home affairs o batlela ngwana certificate or o batla ID, home affairs ya mo Matatiele e shwile ha iteng ha ona home affairs mo Matatiele mo. Ha o ka ba wa kra plan ya ru thusiwe ko home affairs o ka re badimo ba ba buile le wena ka re o tswa o seng o ye o eme line ko wa mafese ba be ba kwale. Ha o fitla fela ko countereng ya Home Affairs o thola mme a swantse a thuse mme a le busy ka manala or a bua ka cell phone or a khotla di computer. Taba eo ya Home Affairs ke utlwile hore le ema from 5 a.m. le emi line ya hore ba le thuse ko Home Affairs. Taba e ke a inka ko e fa Minister Motsoaledi hore tloela ntho ya hao ya o tloa hore o lwa le maforena o ka ba re Home Affairs ya sebetsa. Tloela maforena o ye ko Matatiele, re batla o fihle ka 5 o'clock hoseng. O bo o ska reporta hore wa tla o fele o fole line fela nje o le ministera o apere mask le katiba ba ska o tseba. Re ko wena o ema mo lining from 5 a.m. until ba kwala di office ka 4 o'clock. You will never get assistance because ha batho ba bua fela banana ra batho ba rena ba rata tshele. Re batla yena atle mo Matatiele atla iponele yena self or batho ba rona aba thole di services mo Home Affairs. Re batla hore re tsebise the whole country a re tle mona today is because re batla hore the whole South Africa ba itse hore hona le nae bitswang Matatiele and ba itse hore ko Matatiele ha ona ntho e sebetsang. La o tsena fela o tsena ka tropo o re wa theoa o tla mona ha ona tsela ba jile tšhelete ya skontiri ba re ba kenya skontiri ba iya mashodu ha o sepile remba lula mabane o na re o batla o phetha di pothole ke batla mmotsa le sa di pothole ko Matatiele ha ona di pothole ha ona tsela o tla phetha pothole efe ka re pothole o iphetha ko nang le tsela. So ko Matatiele a re phethe di pothole re kopa tsela ha re ka no ba tsela ye right o tloa toropong re kene ka mo every village every township ha le paletšwa ha o no ba le access road gore batho ba rena ba kgone ho kena gore ambulance e kgone ho kena gore heshe e kgone ho kena ka gore mona Eastern Cape mo I know gore ho na le batho ba e leng gore ba rwala lepokoso la mofu ba lenke ka maoto ba tloe mo villageng ba ya ko Tharotong ka gore ambulance or heshe e re nka scan ha ke batlo khutla mo be ke palla ko tswa ke tlo lata ke dikoloi tse pushang dikoloi tse ding. So Eastern Cape is one of the most rotten places. Dintlo tsa di RDP a ke sa batla o bua ka tsona ka gore tseo di tswa ka sfane ha ba sa witse o re mketekete ha ba o ne ntlo ko RDP bana ba banyane ba thotse matlu a di RDP lona batho ba baholo ba ba ngwadisitseng from 1997 o fitla today a le Sotho le matlu. Hona le mme ko ona le 57 years hona le ngwana ko ona le 30 years ngwana o thotse ntlo before mme wa 57 years. Ngwano ba santse ba botse simple question. Ngwano o ngwadisitse neng mme wo a ngwadisa neng. Then you will know that there is corruption. And ke mosebetsi wa makhanselara a EFF ba tloela o robala kwa ba ijale ma ANC le di municipal managers ke bona ba ba swantse ba re kopa list ya RDP e cleaniwe re tsebe mang o apply-ile nako mang apply nako mang, and is ka etswa sephiri, no secret list, e ngwalwe straight public, e beiwe into public notices. Ha o fitla wena o ke shebe leina la o ke number 89. Ha ba ka re batho ba thotse di RDP wa khutlela ko listing wa wo ne le number 100, nna ne ke le 89, we thola bjang a le 100 ke le 89. Re matla ho be le transparency mo tabeng ya matlo a di RDP. Ha re ka khona ntho ya re lwele hore mo Matatiele mo list ya di RDP I beiwe everywhere mo di public notice, batho ba e ba ke checka hore ke number mang. Ha o ka ithola o ka se ithole ka sephiri, will be knowing your number. It means you got it through corruption. Re khutle hape ntho e ngwarishang haholo batho beso ba baholo ke one ya hore ha o kena everywhere for shalona mo holong mo, ha o ka kena ka di toilet o ithola di condom ba di beile mola. Tabeng ya di condom ke taba ya choice. To have sex is a choice. It's not something that is forced naturally. Babuwe ba ga no bia di pads ka mo di toilet, mara re tseba hore bana ba rena ha ba ya di periodsing a se choice, it's a natural cause. So we na lo re bia di condom pele, a re bieng di sanitary pads ko pele, bana ba rena ba kire di sanitary pads. Re di bie hore every public space bana ba ha ba thola banke. Why ribia in the public space? How na muto abatlang o tsebea ka o sokola. You can't be proud of being poor. I've never heard in any speech a person say, I'm poor and I'm proud. No. How toilets are malefaba to the sanitary pads kamatso badinka. Libaetsa or babe ashamed. Be a mobona. But are ring on their own, nicely, privately, a pick up a kenye go begging. At no, we are safe. So, her president, ya student commander na buamo, kabo me, ba etele timpil, the university. Kibot babu me. Kibona ba matomo, ba neba swanchi ba beile, the sanitary towels, go the university in each and every room. Hebu mmebale ba yo cleanela bana ba tsamaye ba tshwere plastic ya di sanitary pads, ha ba fetsa o cleaner ba ishia ona mola, e ba fetsa o cleaner ba ishia ona mo. It's a struggle that is led by women. When they got appointed as VCs of those universities, we thought now our children's dignity is going to be restored. Hu buima ha bana ba rena ba le di periodsing ba sena di phetse ba nka di pampiri ba folder do ba khwesotsa bolwetsi tsona di pampiri tseo ba nka di keeper ba re jwalo le jwalo ba thiba wena le puso ye ka ba fangeng ntwa seriti hore bona ba ke thuse ka seriti. Bana ba rena ba ska sokola beyond 25 years. Usana le bana ba ring ba le di periodsing ba siye skolo because ba tseba hore hanka ya skolong ho raro ko ba se tseisi tsa pleke la ka moka e re ke nne hae ha di monka 7 days, it means this child is going to miss school for 7 days. Puso e ka ye ratang batho because puso e ka se rate ba e khonang. O boncha hore o rata batho o thoma ka ba ba sa ikhoning, then ba ikhonang ba tseba hore this is a caring government. Re a kopa le today as we celebrate the Women's Day hore go tlisang seriti sa bana ba banana ba ileng hore ba tlhophea ba kopa dilo tse tsa di sanitary towels. Fighters no sicelo ba mmolaya ba mo ripa di piece ke ra hore ha o ntse mola o ntse o mo remella o mo khatha di piece kwenu a ona motho wa mmena ha wa belea ke mmena. Don't you have a sisters na? Don't you have cousins na? Why would our men make us so ashamed? Why would they do that? Batsamae o moemeletse le pudi ya pudi ke ra le gusha ha o le iwane o ntse he o batla thuso motho ka o mona ka mo shebile ka mahlo o mo khatha di piece motswadi wa ngwano a re a ke na taba ba mmolaile mara o na ba entseng ba mo khatha di piece o entseng se ska etsang hore o mo khatha di piece o bo ba shothile motšhini o ba nyaka o mo granda mo re gerra a ya mo latlhele kwa re ska tseba ngwana rena o ko kae mara ba phile ba ska shwa ka re ba sa tlo di bona motho wa sephofolo o ka se mmolae wa mo khatha di piece wa nana hore in your life you'll get peace. They will never get peace in their lives wherever they are. Arisa inyaka ntheu ya hore banna emang ka maoto. Everywhere we are being asked ha re ula ba re banna ba ka mo ba kae ha ne ke na le mesebetsi kwa ka na re before re thoma re emang re emetse banna ba ka mo ba fitle re khone re thoma mosebetsi. So today banna ba Afrika Borwa ba kae when the whole family of Afrika Borwa is being attacked? Where are the men of South Africa to defend their own? Ditsotsi di nkile strata mo Matatiele mo a re sa khona loya malapeng a bana le mashu dithapelong ro ba duduza re ba support ka ra re 4 o'clock re a tshaba hore yo le tla subela ke sa lona bana ba faila because o ba batla ho etsa di study group ba le bosiu from there ba boele ko hae ba tla tsama strateng se fee because the criminals have taken over the streets. And what is worse ko rena re le batswadi re ntse mo rena re le bana re le malapa, all of these criminals are known to us. Laba ba tlo senya ko ba tswang teng a tla tshwere tšhelete o tseba ngwana wa sebetse a o mmotse potso ya hore o tlo inka kae tšheleteo ha palla ku explain or ka mo e ka skene a ikhutlele morao. I will rather die suffering than to eat money with blood. Or nanga siye tšhelete ya o phuphuma madi a phuphuma madi ba bolaile ngwana wa our secretary general Godrich Gadi ka Mpumalanga ba mmolaya ba monka ba mo latlhela ko sekgweng ha re mo krea ba mo tlhabile mmelo kaofela ba mo rapile ba fetša ba mo tlhaba ka thipa o re o entseng a re tsebe ke re ko bona ditsotsi tše ha e lora le tšhabe papae ka gore ke tšhomi ya Julius Malema nna le ntšhabe na. When you stab this child, don't you have me in your mind? Don't you have the EFF in your mind? That we might undermine the father, but what about the people that live with the father? Ba mo tlhaba ka thipa ba mo thunya ka mo morao ka mo shoot but they shot her from behind. Cowards. Ba bolaya and o ba bona banna ba dinatla ba kopane ba bolaya such a tiny body, such a beautiful soul by destroyer by latlhela ko sekgweng with a hope ya gore ka gore Mpumalanga ho na le ditau le ding le ding, o tla ja ke ditau, then they won't be able to find her. So, re a kopa, as parents, as communities, let us not harbor criminals. Ha ngwana a ka tla ka ntho ka re a o utlwisisi hantle, o ska mo rasetsa ema fela, o no re o tsenye kobo mo lethekeng o re ke a khutla, o ye police station o re ke bona dintho ka ko nna ka kwa di tlompalla di batla lona, maponesa a fitla a check gore ngwana o kotsi ya hae keng, because ha rena re embrace taba ye ya o bolaiwa ha batho lo rapiwa le e tla ko rena is coming to you. How shebantwe, look at your mother, look at your wife, us with wives, Floyd. Yeah, when I say look at wives, I refer to us with wives. Look at your wife, look at your daughters, look at your neighbors' children, or kana ngwano can be next. Hanga say stop and none twi ki bonanga mo lapeng laka. Next ke ngwana. Ko KwaZulu Natal nkgono wa nkgono a ke tsebe o mmona eng, nkgono a le so frail, ba be ba mo kenela, ba mo rape, ba mo shona mo ashile nkgono. All of us, very few Africans can argue or bona ba godisha ke nkgono. When you see an old person, you must immediately think of your grandmother. How do you touch your grandmother like that? How do you think of your grandmother like that? What is going through you when you attack the defenseless woman? She won't do anything. Yet you still find it in you to molest and rape and kill a defenseless old woman. What type of a sick society have we become that we have no souls for old and young? These people of South Africa must rise, because in the absence of government, the people themselves must defend themselves. There's no one who's going to defend us. They don't want to defend us. We now have to take it upon ourselves to defend ourselves, like you did in 1956, like you did in 1976. You stood up carrying nothing but your hopes that this country will be liberated from apartheid. Today, we are being called upon to defend our country, this time not against apartheid, but against criminals who have declared war against the women of South Africa. We have to fight and make sure that we defend these women. There is no culture called ukutwala. Ukutwala is rape. There's no culture called ukutwala, where you take a young kid and give that child to a toothless person. Hana le meno. Future kimo, future ya ngwana. Future ya ngwana ke skolo. Ngwana ankiwa isiwe skolo. Ngwana askankiwa afiwa ukutwala. You know, I come from a grandmother who couldn't read and write, and her friends could read. She got very angry because society eba mofa chelet or ayo deposit a chelet. Oswanja emele someone who's going to fill in those forms. Are what's on to him boragam, what's about papa bam borili? Care what happened? And my father said a girl who goes to school will never get married. That's how we didn't go to school. We can't allow that. Bana aba eskulu. If Lena, you are a product of ukutwala, let it end with you. Let the children go to school. Let the children be educated and come and take you out of your poverty. Because this ukutwala, you are giving this child to a poor person who has nothing, who's not going to help you with anything. But if this child goes to school, Mandi Samaya will come from your family. Imagine if Mandi Samaya was taken to Ukutwala. She wouldn't be a deputy chief justice today. Hey, what? You must not allow that. Anyone who has sex with anyone without a permission of that person is rape. And when it is children, it's even worse. It's a statutory rape. So please, let us not promote the rape culture in the name of culture, which is non-existent. Banabarena, we live in a new world order now that requires people to be educated. Rena re busy, re alwana ko parlamenteng, re lwanela bana ba, re a shapiwa ko parlamenteng. Honorable Malema, order, sit down. Hey, wait. Hey. Ha re lwana mo re shapiwa, ba re latlhela ko ntle, ba re go. Re a khutla ka osana. Re qala from the beginning. Order. Hey, okay Malema, le lwanela. Re lwanela bana ba kene sekolo mahala. Or ba rute ba yo thusa malapa bona ko morao ko ba tlhanteng. Ex no lwana rama mati ba re okay aba ken bana ba teng ba ile go thwala. Tla ba thola ka gore ba ishitse go thwala instead of taking them to school. Let the children go to school. Let the children make a decision about their future. Let the children decide who they want to marry. The only thing as parents is to nurture them. Reba fe tsela, reba fe direction until they are old enough to make their own decision. We must never make a decision on behalf of our children. Fellow fighters, we need clinics in each and every ward. Ebele ambulance, ebele manese, in each and every ward. Why? White people have got exactly that. They've got clinic next to them. Bongata baba tuba shwa, babola ke malwetsi a lengor. If you go to clinic, they can detect it early by solver. Mara, because harna the clinic, the whole Matatiele goes and queue in one clinic. Hana go au ifitla bar no reakwetsi. Utlile clinicing ka chelete ka dimisitsweng next door. Utla patela kang. Re a lwana re batla every ward in Matatiele, in the whole of Eastern Cape, ebele clinic, ebele ambulance, ebele nurse, ebele sophisticated equipment. You know, this thing is possible. You just need a caring government. There's too much money. That money is even stored under mattress. Boramaposa ka mo go ebeng e ntshi ka ona e tletse ka parlamenteng e bile ba e ka tlasa mattress ba ya hore ba be le ka fa sa mattress ya di dollar a ya di dollar mara rena clinic mara Ramaphosa o ya di dollar ANC wo ba re ke mabuya nena o he le go dula mathomo le la mafelelo la mo Eastern Cape mabuya. So Rinyaka ori, everybody a kono le primary health care, especially le na batho ba bomme le nida o feta rona. Ona le ntho engwe ba re ke breast cancer e tlhaela mo letsweleng mo. Ha e kala ke sishonyana man, ha o re ke a touch utlwanyana some irritation. Or hi, let me go to the clinic ma check. How fitla clinicing mothaladi go mokana to that side. Wa ema halfway ba re kwetse. Wa right, this is not serious. Let me leave it. Outside doctor. Osasa, boom, up a full-blown breast cancer, stage 4. What happened now? Why was I clinicing early? I kile kazama ya clinicing mara hesh. Asanga kakena, line ketele. So, have I taught in a clinic, au fitla okraba to buy 2, 3 before you, one again. By tola salenyanyan, they can remove it. And then you live forever. Mara, how ekaba palla? Once it is stage 4, then outside and twerga. So please, har go back to ANC. Rebatla the clinic is not about luxury. It's about long life for our people. Because we love them and we don't want them to die from senseless illnesses that can be cured. So we will fight for this until we restore the dignity of our people. Babu ile mo ba di khomo dia utsiwa le dinku le dipudi di ishwa ka mo Lesotho ka mo. That's why we want a borderless Africa. Ora khomo ile ka mo le re no ema o seng ra elata. Auna border this border that leshodu le ka mo re le batla le ka mo a re batle Mosotho re batla leshodu because ha ba batla re tsabanyisa ba re a ro batla Basotho ba utsitse dikgomo a se Basotho ke leshodu ha le bitswe ka leina le le rege o re batlana le leshodu. So le bona ba le bakatile mana ba bo rena ba 80 ko Krugersdorp. That they are Basotho or South Africans, we don't care. They are criminals and they must be punished as such. Their nationality matters not because we want to deal with crime. Harika Toman Tweaure, woke Mosotho, woke Mxhosa, woke Mzulu, woke Mpedi, we are going to fight amongst ourselves. Arskera I promote and to emonati out to ito yaur he rebatla Basotho ba tsamaye habas no tsama Basotho re boreile re thoma o sheba re ka shapa ba bafe kana ela lena marshal barking amongst Xhosa re ya ona le mabaka. Let's go for mabaka. What? No, Mabaka is our people. Mabaka, their history will explain it. But let them go first. Out. And then that time Mabaka was leading the fight against Basotho. When it finishes, but let's look around. Bakas, come here. Be careful what you are inviting. The unity of a black person is paramount. Let's not allow them to divide us. Let's have disagreement and differences amongst ourselves and solve them peacefully, but not on the basis of border. Let's go and close borders and put a wall and everything. Stock theft will still be here. Because why? Ba utswa le maphodisa di khomo tse le dinku tse ba sebetsa le maphodisa. Ba sebetsa le maphodisa. So, tshwanetse re lokise maphodisa first. Ha re ka kreya maphodisa first, I can tell you, hauna stock theft re ka complainang. Hauna motho wa committing crime mo South Africa a sa sebetseng le maphodisa. Kaofela bona ba sebetsa le maponesa. Na le ponesa mo ba re ke Sisilana, Warren Sisilana. Hey, white taula. So we want the police to be responsible citizens and live according to their oath. Their oath is to serve and protect. Not Sisilana assault a woman who's coming to open a case in a police station. Amo sharpe little today. So who's going to open a case? Hama ponisa shapabatu habayo bula case. Rather ushweli onata you, because what's now you are going to be abused worse when you come to that area. So now we must make sure that this place becomes a safer place for everyone. All of you, I'm happy here in Matatiele. You are teaching everyone what is Pan-Africanism practically by how you relate with your neighbors in Lesotho and live together, speak Sotho, speak Xhosa, call each other by clan names. That's how much you show that you embrace and coexist as African people. Fighters, the last point I want to raise, second last, is the issue of domestic workers. These domestic workers are being exploited. They are not paid anything. And they are being raped, and they can't report the rape. But rape abona, the domestic worker, akasibuweka or hakabuwa fela. Mosebetsi wo wa bu domestic worker bu ntse between poverty le success nyana ya nang le yona. Ha reporta le khwala ka le rape ba motebela mosebetsing. Then from there poverty starts. Also qualify pension ya mmuso. We must find a way to protect our domestic workers. As we speak now, 100,000 of domestic workers have lost jobs in South Africa. So, it means 400 to 500,000 people are directly affected by the losing of a job by these 100,000 domestic workers. Because one domestic worker looks up to 5 people. We need to find a way to protect domestic work. Otherwise, now literally, poverty is visiting us. It is all of us who were brought up by domestic workers. They cared about us. And many of these domestic workers are mothers. So, if you do not protect the domestic workers, it means you are not protecting the mothers. We need to protect our mothers. And the EFF must find a way of ensuring that this work called domestic worker is professionalized and a minimum wage is paid and people are not expelled easily as they are now. Comrades, more Eastern Cape, more ANC, ekria 73% ka di election. More Matatiele, more ANC, ekria 65% ka di election. Mara, halena di tsela. 582 schools, math schools, the more Eastern Cape. More batho ba tsenang di toilet tsa mekoti more Eastern Cape. More batho ba senang di tsela tsa o tsamaya pila ke mo Eastern Cape. More batho ba tholang mosebetsi ka gore ba robetse le councilor la ANC ke mo Eastern Cape. Banabalena ababereki. Eastern Cape is the highest unemployed people in the whole of South Africa. 52.6% of the people of Eastern Cape are not working. Yet ANC itola 75%. Le vote la ANC ka botshepehi e le kenya ko di toileteng tsa mekoti bana ba kena di-toilet tsa mekoti ba be ba shwele ka mo di-toilet tsa mekoti ha le fetša bana ba shwela ka mo toileteng ya mekoti la be le re a leboa ANC re bolaetše bana ka di-toilet tša mekoti 75% va ya o šo re la e leboa mos di-RDP di tswa ka mahlo le difane 75% ANC va a lena reliable water and a le metsi a tswang a ditšhila ke a matsho le diphoofolo di ka se anwe metsi ao mara la e votela ANC Eastern Cape ka botshepeng a lena motlakase bongata ba lona le sa phela ko tlase yet la e votela ANC ka botshepeng o e votela ANC o khutla spetlele o no le spetlele ba o isitse ko spetlele ko ambulanceng ka wheelbarrow ba o rwele ka wheelbarrow ka gore ambulance a ikene ba fihle ba o beye o kene ka ra ambulance o tsamaye o ye spetlele ba fihle ba o ill treat manese ba be ba re ko wena o na ditlhare house no ka ona fala o khutla fela o kenya kobo ko thekeng o votela ANC yene o kentse ko wheelbarrow o ya ko spetlele le tloele Mandela le sa Mandela o robetse peaceful ye a se ANC ya Mandela ya mashodu ye ha o sana ANC ya Mandela ANC e shwele le Mandela ha robala so you can't say to Mandela sleep in peace wabotsa matsamara nyaka si ya ke ANC esiphuma kude nayo ANC Congolose siphuma kude ne Congolo o da phuma kude le toilet ya mkoti siphuma kude arisa inyaka ntweo we must say enough is enough arisa batla puso ye sa tlhokomeleng batho ba batsho arisa batla puso ye tlhophang batho ba batsho we want a government that will look after black people, especially black women, and that government is the EFF. There is no any other government that can take care of black people except the EFF. Hey, Aper Shebile TV, Banaba Tselang Dinuka, crossing rivers, Kiba mo Eastern Cape. Or is this real? Obo phone, what is this? What's happening? I repelaso. Babanke baba kense ka ra bucket. Baba ekima ba Kenya ba kwale ba hoye o kono crosser the river. When you finish Matatiele 65%. Le Khutle le Eastern Cape le 75%. Sometimes if we're to sit down and think properly, we are our own problem. It is us who are a problem. Because we've got the solution. I say it, like voted like time and time again. Results are the same. Try something else, man. Try something else. So please, no moto utweri barli shodu li tshwarwa ka morwalo. Ra thola Ramaphosa ka morwalo. $4 million. Calculator mo re ka di ranta ka bokae. $4 million. I kentse ka mo ara matrasi. I kentse ka ara di sofa, o bula sofa. O gotile carpentry mo we, upholstery wa bula, o kenya tšhelete. Kamol. So by utswa agero le shodu la o ka I buela le fifing ba o shebing a kenya mola kenya aka se kenya liwa no kenya lomo o la o botsa o mongwe re ape hey o ntse o di mama tsibitsibi mo ba ilata ba shimane busi ba ilata ba ebetha kwaba aba iutswa instead or ayobula case o bitsa gangster ya ba matisana le ba shimane ba le ba etsa bo gangster a ke re gangster ka gore ina le tšhelete a utsiwa how ka I utswetse
e ka se report because go police station bore where did the money come from? Are hey ye yo pal bafana go after them. Ba tšea le flamachine ya South African police without case number. Ba ya ka mola ntle ka kwa Namibia ba nyakana le bachimane ba uba ba ba kry ba ba tshwara ba ba betha ba ba torture ba ba kenya mo ntlo ya Ramaphosa ba nka mmeo wa domestic worker ba mo torture le na betwa. That's why hey a re nyake ntwa kgatlhanong le basadi mara president she shapa domestic worker I fetsa e tloema mo platformong e re stop abusing women but that stop a yanga gore ba bona ena. So money laundering, racketeering, fraud, torture, all manner of cases against your president. Why would people stop crime when a president is committing crime in the highest office? So, South Africa, you get the government you deserve. If you want a president of a gangster, you've got one. But if you want a president that wants to save you and liberate you from the chains of poverty, you have to change your vote. So, the president in parliament now, we are going to start a process of impeachment. So, impeachment means, ge o le president o tsamaya, o gola tšhelete bophelo ba gago ka moka. We pay you for the rest of your life. Rofa security, rabara ofale office that is paid for. Ya ba ya patela le ra patela le staff sa office yao. Is called the office of the former president. Ke a o tswile Thabo Mbeki o na le yona, Zuma le yona o na le yona, Nkandlas re ba file everything. So our president ya impeachwa. Hira re inchiwa e tsamaya fela ha e thole next. Ha thole salary, ha thole pension, ha thole anything. So kinto e re thomile no ko parlamenteng gore re batla impeachment process. La o ka morata Ramaphosa, lo ka nrata mo rata Malema. Mara wa kry-a motho a beile tšhelete ka ra matrase a sa declare SARS, a sa declare Reserve Bank. Rena re phela re declare re hiwa ke SARS, yena hai o ya le nosi ha e patele tax. And then all of us we are all equal before the law. Let him be equal before the law. Liena appear before the law. Case is opened. Nothing has happened because he is above the law. So, comrades, we've started that process, and once that process has started, you can be guaranteed the only way for him to survive perhaps will be to resign. Because even when you have resigned, we can still impeach you when you're not when you're no longer a president. So we really want to take this opportunity to thank our gender-based violence desk, because re bereka na le mathata a mangata a bomme ba ba tlhophehang ko EFF ko Winnie Mandela House. So we help a lot. And the people who do this work, they do it voluntarily without getting paid. And the 1 million membership DP, if it was to survive, it must target women. If you recruit and not target women, it means you are forming emzinesi nsizwa. We don't want emzinesi nsizwa here. We want women, because women, once they've catched the fire, you can't stop them. They will speak about this gospel everywhere they go. So let's target women. Let's make sure that in the 1 million members that we are recruiting, majority of them must be women. If women are on your side, nothing will happen. Remember, women are the most fearless people. They are not scared of anything. So, if you have this women on your side, I can guarantee you the EFF will become government in 2024 here in the Eastern Cape. We want 1 million members all over South Africa, but we want more members in the Eastern Cape because the rot is here. But Bamo Eastern Cape ba utswa abatshwariwe. They never get arrested. Boshodi bo tletse mo la o ka cheka with all amount of evidence produced. They never get arrested. But this province of Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Gavin Mbeki, Thabo Mbeki, a province of legends and leaders. Look at how it looks like. This was supposed to be one of the most beautiful, successful provinces because our leaders come from here. Uraba to America. But we want to see Mbizana, where Winnie Mandela comes from. There must be an airport. Yalo motor walenda uduma pudim. So, this province of O.R. Tambo, yeah, where O.R. Tambo was born, Mbizana. The house when I went, it was no longer there. The house where O.R. Tambo was born. In white people's culture, that would have been a museum that attracts visitors. And as they visit, they buy cold drink next door. They buy food next door. Then the economy of Mbizana booms. Everybody in Mbizana is working. Like Soweto, Vilakazi Street, where Nelson Mandela stayed, is during the week today. If you go there now, it's buzzing. There's no music, no nothing. People are just going up and down. And 90% of them are not from there. They are visitors. As a result, every house there in Soweto, Vilakazi Street, has been turned into something, either a restaurant, either a beauty salon. They are milking dollars. Mbizana should be having the same. Kunu should be having the same. But because they've abandoned the Eastern Cape, people want to see where Nelson Mandela is resting. When we go to London, we visit the grave of Karl Marx. It's in London. It's no longer a grave. It's a tourist attraction. And you pay. A lot of such things can be done here. Winnie Mandela was the most brutalized woman. Her story, if properly told, it will attract a lot of people to want to see where was this type of a fearless person born. Everything, after explaining to them, $100. They are polite like that. This should be buzzing, but it's not. Why? We've allowed corruption to collapse this province of Eastern Cape. And that rot and that corruption is going to end here in Matatiele. I didn't come here only to celebrate the Women's Day. I came here to start a journey to stop corruption in Matatiele and in the whole of Eastern Cape. Because corruption can be stopped. Let them be punished in 2024 so that they become ordinary people and they know a pain of suffering because we are going through the same under them. These roads that you see that are not finished, whoever got the tender must be arrested. And then whoever gave the tender and did not follow the procedure must be arrested too, because they are both corrupt. Oscar Mabuyane must be rotting in jail as we speak now because of the corruption that is happening in this province. But because they are untouchable, nothing will happen to them. But they must know nothing is forever. Their day will come. And that day, when that day comes, they will regret for the rest of their lives. Your tears will never fall down. The EFF is there to catch your tears. Amandla! Amandla! Viva EFF! Viva! Ayule EFF! Ayule! Tata EFF! Tata! Igama la makosi kasima libongwe, igama la makosi kasima uma libongwe, libongwe, malibongwe. Oh, igama la makosi kasima, igama la makosi kasima, oh malibongwe, libongwe, malibongwe. Amandla. Aunoma kubi siaya, siaya. Noma kubi siaya, siaya. Noma besitubulas. Besishaya, besibopa, noma besetubola, besishaya, besibopa, noma kubi siaya, siaya, no magubi, siaya, siaya, no mavesitubolas, besishaya, besibopas. No mavesitubolas, besishayas, besibopas. Who left? Who right? Yamasa. Who left? Kita. Kilame. Girvatavata. Samarumo. Samarumo rumo. Asicha. Where were you when I'm drunk? Where were you when I'm shit? Sofa sketchy, Henata. Sofa sketchy, Hetlati. Kichi, kichi, kichima. Kichi, kichi, kichima. Sibram Konto, Alliance. Shoot to kill, Yamaza. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Attention,